Hey, what's up you guys? Welcome back, or if it's your first time here, welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be doing sort of like a first impression, but also a one brand tutorial featuring a ton of brand new Urban Decay products. So I have the new Spectrum palette, the new All Nighter foundation, the new Ultimate Basics Naked palette, which is very exciting. And all of that right now is on my face. I let you guys know all of my thoughts, and I also use a bunch of other Urban Decay goodies. I created this like gunmetal smoky eye, and I also give you guys 2 lip options. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Do not forget to let me know what you thought in the comments. Also let me know if you've tried any of these products and what are your thoughts. I would love to know what you guys have to say. Give this video a big thumbs up, and of course subscribe if you're not subscribed already. And without further ado, let's get into the tutorial. Alright guys, so we're first going to start off with the eyes, just because I don't know how much fallout we're actually going to have. I have a feeling there's going to definitely be a lot. So I'm going to be taking my Urban Decay primer potion. This is like the OG primer of YouTube. I don't know if you guys remember this. Let me know in the comments if you do, but I feel like everybody at one point was using the Urban Decay primer potion. That is like my most vivid memory of like early beauty guru YouTube. It was just like the thing to have. I think the Urban Decay primer potion is also probably the first Urban Decay product that I ever bought. Fun fact. So the product that I'm probably most excited to be using in this tutorial is the Full Spectrum palette. It looks like this. Urban Decay packaging, as always, killing it. When you open it up is when the real magic happens, because it's basically just a palette full of rainbow colors. You've got purple, pinks, greens, blues, yellows, basically every color you could possibly want to put on your eyes. So the color that stood out to me immediately is this shade right over here, which is pretty funny because it's the least colorful shade in the palette. It's basically like a gunmetal shade. It has a little bit of blue shimmer to it. I think it looks really beautiful. But of course, we're going to need some mattes to build up the crease. So for that, I'm going to be using the Urban Decay Naked Ultimate Basics palette. Since we're going for cool tones today, I always like to apply a little bit of a warmer shade in the crease just to sort of balance it out a bit. So I'm going to be taking Faith, which is more of a neutral brown, but it does have some warm qualities to it. And I'm going to apply that right above my crease with my Morphe E27 brush. Sort of just buff that out. You don't want a ton of this, sort of just a halo around the eye. And I'm also going to touch my brush, like touch it into Extra Bitter, which is that orangey shade. It's obviously very warm because I just want to warm that up just a little bit, and that really just does the trick. All right, so now it's time to build up a little bit of definition into the crease. So I'm going to be taking a small little blending brush. I'm going to grab Magnet, which is the cool toned bluey gray in the palette, and I'm going to start to apply this into my crease to add a little bit of definition there. And from what I could tell so far, these colors do blend really nicely and apply really beautifully. I'm not having any issues at all with patchiness or anything like that, which is great. I'm really making sure to apply this color evenly throughout my crease. I'm not concentrating it just on the outer corner. I'm making sure it's really opaque all throughout. So I'm gonna go into Platonic on a flat synthetic shader brush, and then I'm going to just pack this all over my lid. Ooh, and it applied really nice and intense. I don't have any Fix Plus or any type of help on my brush, so this is just the eyeshadow doing its thing, and it looks really, really nice and deep. When you're using a shade that's as dark as this, you really want to make sure you get it in between your lashes so that you don't have like a floating lash line, because that will look insane. So now I'm going to take some MAC Fix Plus. I'm going to spray it on my brush, and then I'm going to go back into the eyeshadow, and we're going to see if this is going to make it look a little bit more metallic. And it definitely does. So now I'm just gonna go in with a makeup wipe, and I'm gonna clean up under my eyes to make sure that I get rid of any fallout, and I'm also going to just clean up the outer corner to sharpen it up a bit. I do wanna add a little bit of dimension right in the center of my lid, so I'm gonna be taking Ice, which is the silver shade, on my finger. Take a little bit of it and just pop that in the center of my lid. Because it is like a silvery shade, it's almost gonna make it look like glossy. I love the effect that it gives. Like, just that simple little touch makes the biggest difference in the world. So now it's time to try out the new Urban Decay foundation. This is the All Nighter foundation. Now, I've not tried this yet. I literally bought it yesterday. The one thing I wanted to say is how difficult it was to find my shade match for this foundation. It took me maybe half an hour to figure out what shade I wanted to get. And I actually ended up getting 2 so that I can mix them, because I did not find a shade that was my perfect match. I even did like the color IQ thing at Sephora. Apparently I wasn't a match for any of the colors. So I got shade number 3.0 and 5.0, and I'm gonna use mostly 3.0 and mix a little bit of 5.0 in there just to make it a little bit deeper. So this is what the shade looks like once it's mixed together. It's a liquidy foundation, but it feels thick. Like, you know, this is gonna give you a lot of coverage. And to blend it out, I'm gonna be taking my beauty blender, because because I want to sheer it out as much as possible. I feel like it's not blending out as easily as it should with the Beauty Blender. I'm like struggling a little bit. So far my first impressions, when I look at my skin really closely, it actually looks really nice. It's not accentuating any of my dry patches or anything. Man, it's not blending though. And now I'm just using a brush just to sort of move the foundation around a bit because I feel like the Beauty Blender just wasn't doing it for me. On first impressions, I found it was definitely a little bit difficult to blend out, but once it's actually applied, it actually looks really beautiful on the skin. I find it's not like making my skin look extra dry or anything. I'm not loving it, but I'm not hating it because I like the way it looks on my skin, and just the actual application process sort of sucked a little bit. So now for my concealer, of course, I'm gonna be taking my Naked Skin Concealer. You guys know that I love this. This is a really awesome, lightweight, but full coverage concealer. I'm using the shade Light today to really highlight. So I'm putting that underneath my eyes, a little bit down the sides of my nose as upside down triangle shape, because when I do really smoky eyes, I do like to make sure that I highlight my skin very, very intensely to sort of balance it out. I like it when my face looks nice and bright if my eyes are really dark. So I'm just gonna apply that, all the typical highlighting zones on the face. This concealer is so good. If you haven't tried it yet, I definitely recommend checking it out. It's definitely one of my top favorite concealers for sure. So now let's finish off the eyes. I'm going to be taking Faith and a little bit of Extra Bitter on a little pencil brush. I'm just going to sweep that underneath my lash line. And now I'm going to go back into Platonic, which is the gray shade that we use on the lid. And I'm going to press this up against my lash line. Look how smoky that looks. Oh yeah. So you have a little bit of warmth peeking through, but majority of the lash line is going to be that deep gray shade. So now I'm just gonna go ahead and line the inner rim of my eye with Perversion from Urban Decay. This is a very, very, very black eyeliner. You wanna make sure that when you do a really smoky eye like this, that you use a lot of black on the upper as well as the lower waterline, just to make sure that everything looks fully lined, because if you have a little bit of empty space, it won't look as put together. So now we're going to really brighten up the inner corner. I'm going to be taking this Urban Decay Liquid Moon Dust eyeshadow. This is called Chemtrail. This is basically a liquid eyeshadow. This one is a really pretty like champagne-y shade. It's gonna look really gorgeous on the inner corner. I'm not sure how I feel about these. I did try one of the shades on my lid. I found that it did flake a little bit, which I wasn't too big of a fan of, but I'm not sure how this one is gonna perform. I guess we're gonna find out. So I'm just put a little bit on the back of my hand. I'm gonna take some on my little brush and I'm just gonna pat it on the inner corners of my eye. Whoa. I'm not really sure how I feel about these. I feel like I have to play with them a little bit more to actually get a solid opinion on them. But from what I've tried so far, I'm not the biggest fan. I feel like they flake and are just, I don't know, they're a little bit more difficult to apply. But like I said, I gotta play with them a little bit more. So now I'm gonna go ahead and go off camera and just apply some mascara, and I will be right back. Let's move on to the brows. For my brows, I'm gonna be taking the Urban Decay Brow Beater. This is probably one of my favorite brow pencils. I feel like it's so underrated. I don't think it is spoken about enough. It's very similar to the Anastasia Brow Wiz. I think it's just as good, if not, I wouldn't say better. I feel like it's honestly the exact same. It's the same little very small like waxy pencil. It just makes it very easy to define your brows because it is so nice and small, so you can get nice and precise with it. And this color neutral brown is like the perfect shade. It's a neutral brown, as the name suggests. And it's awesome. This brow, guys, I don't know what's going on with it, but I feel like it's like such a mess. Sometimes I feel like I cut my brows in my sleep because sometimes I don't even understand how my brows get the way they are. Like there was a complete bald spot right here. No idea how that happened. So I swear I must sleepwalk and just like tweeze my brows in my sleep. So now let's bronze up the face using the Urban Decay Beach Bronzer in Bronze. This is actually one of my favorite bronzers. I haven't used it in a really long time, but I do really, really like it. It's a really nice, just warm matte bronzer. It blends out really nicely as well. So I'm just going to apply this where I would normally bronze on my cheekbones, hairline, and temples. I always find that when I do a really smoky look like this, I love it when my skin just looks really fresh and bronzed and glowy, not too heavy. So I always like to really pile on the bronzer. So for my blush, I'm gonna be taking this Urban Decay Afterglow blush in Indecent. It's like a peachy blush. Look how nice it looks next to the eyes. I really love peaches and grays. I really feel like, again, it warms up the face nicely without using pink. So I'm gonna be taking this on my Morphe G35. Not really concentrating it on the apples, more so on like this side. When you concentrate blush more on the side of your face and not so much on the apples, it sort of makes your face look a little bit more chiseled. Whereas when you concentrate blush on the apples of the cheeks, it'll make your face look a little bit more round and a little bit more youthful. Putting it on the sides really makes you look really like, you know what I mean? I'm gonna be taking the Urban Decay Afterglow Highlighter in Sin, which is absolutely beautiful. It's buttery, it's smooth, it gives you that glow that you're looking for. As you can see, it just adds such a gorgeous glow to the face. I love it. And like I said, when you do a really smoky look, it's always nice to have really nice and glowy skin. So as for the lips, you definitely have a lot of options. With eyes like these, you can either wear like a really beautiful, just like light nude, and that's like a classic look and it's gonna look beautiful, or you can get a little bit vampy and do a deeper color. So let's start off with something that's a little bit more bold. This is the Urban Decay Vintage Lipstick in Bruise. This is a sheer lipstick. It says that it's a sheer, but it definitely does not apply like a sheer. It is a pretty opaque coverage, to be honest with you. So this is the first lip look, bold eyes and bold lips. All right, so now we have something that's a little bit more wearable. So I'm gonna be taking Uptight. This is a comfort matte. And then I'm going to take Barfly, which is a light nude. I'm gonna hop this in the center of my lips. And then here we have the nude option, which is definitely a lot more wearable, but it's still really beautiful. Let me know in the comments which color you would wear. So then once you're done with the lips, then you're done the whole entire look. So that is it for the finished tutorial. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. Do not forget to let me know what you thought in the comments. Let me know also if you've tried any of these products. I would love to know your thoughts. Give this video a big thumbs up, and of course subscribe if you're not subscribed already. I love you guys so much, and I will see you next time. Bye.